Hello, we want to welcome you to D&K Spirituality. I'm Dean,
I'm Kay.
and we want to welcome you. Hope everybody's doing well, everybody's safe. So this is the second part to conversations
About the paranormal.
So, Kay, do you want to start it off again?
Oh, geez. Why don't you start it off? I started it off last week.
So, okay, maybe a lot of you don't know, but back in the day, I used to have a paranormal group. We were called Team Paranormal. Team stood for Tracking Evidence of Afterlife Manifestations.
I just think that's so cool.
I know, right? Like I really thought that one.
No, I think it's cool that you had a paranormal group.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, me and my brother, I forget what night it was on, but there was a team out of Rhode Island, which is where we live, that had a similar show. I mean, they had a show.
Yeah.
And I would always say to my brother, that is so cool. I would love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So did you ever meet those guys?
I met a few of the members. Actually, I did meet the two main characters. They came and snaked my pool drain out one day.
Really?
Seriously, yeah. I didn't realize it at first, but I was like, hey, those are those guys. And then there were two other guys that were on the show that I met later on through another group that I knew that had a talk show from the University of Rhode Island. So I got to meet the two other members that I think they left the group right after they got started to get big. But yeah, I got to meet quite a few of the members.
I think you showed me that show once.
Yeah, I did. And but my love for the paranormal started long before.
Oh, so you were like the original gate. Oh, you were the
I
OG.
was back in the day, like anything where somebody said, oh yeah, blah, 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 like urban legends. We had did a series on urban legends, like Vampire's Grave, The Haunted Hitchhiker, Devil's Rock, Hell's Gates.
Yeah.
Like we would look for all these urban legends and try to go and investigate them.
Would you try to debunk them?
Just to see if they were true, like if anything happened. Like supposedly if you drove around this long stretch of, I believe it was Situate, Rhode Island.
Because I would imagine
there was a hitchhiker who got killed.
Rhode Island would be prime territory.
You would think so, right?
Because you just drive down the street and you look at these houses that...
A lot of old colonial style houses.
I mean, our house was built in 1950. It's been here for 76 years.
I mean, it reminds me of a case that I did in West Warwick, Rhode Island.
Okay.
This house was an old house. It was a 4-decker.
So what was the premise of them calling you?
They knew one of the members of the group. And I guess one of the members had discussed with them if they would like to set up a date where we could come in and just do an investigation.
Like do a walkthrough.
Basically, Basically, we would go in and sit down with the client and we would talk to them and discuss all the different things. Like we would have to get kind of personal with them.
Would you offer your services free of charge? Or
yes.
You did? It was free?
Yeah, it was free.
Wow, that was nice.
Yeah, definitely.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't think you would get it free nowadays.
I don't know. I've kind of like ventured out into other things where, like the psychic part with the channeling and the mediumship and all those things.
So back then you would just show up and investigate.
If somebody wanted us to come in here, if there were kids involved, that was the priority. Because no kid should be scared in their own home. Nobody should be scared in their own home.
Yeah, but kids being terrified is especially
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't defend themselves at all.
Okay, so you guys went...
So we go to this house in West Warwick, Rhode Island.
And what was the complaints?
The woman's boyfriend had gotten pushed down the stairs by something. There were no people in the house.
He was
and
alone.
He felt He said it felt like a grown man pushed him from behind down the stairs, and he broke his arm in 2 places.
So does the boyfriend participate in some wacky tobacco?
No.
Okay,
So these are the questions that we ask.
Like, do you have an out? Do you
Like, we have a checklist where we go through, like, do you consume?
How long ago was this?
Oh, this had to be about 11 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You need to take me by this house.
I don't even know if I remember where it's at. That's how long ago it was. Like, I went to the house once.
Yeah, do you know the general vicinity?
It's in a certain section of West Warwick where it's predominantly Portuguese people live. That's the part I do remember. So we sat down with the client. We asked him a series of questions. Is there any mental?
So you're talking to him, or you're talking to somebody else?
Well, he's laid up in bed with an arm broken in 2 places. So I'm down in the kitchen.
Man.
I'm down in the kitchen with
broken arms.
I'm down in the kitchen with the other member of the team who they knew. So you ask him a series of questions. Is there any mental health issues in the family? Do you obsessively drink alcohol? Is anybody on medication? To the point where do you do drugs, or do you use a Ouija board? All that kind of stuff.
Why do you ask about the Ouija board?
Well, because it's like a gateway.
Yeah, you don't know who you're talking to.
You don't know who you're talking to.
Don't mess with Ouija boards, folks. I do not recommend it.
Don't do seances.
I'm sorry about what I said about typical man being laid up in bed with a broken arm. I was just joking.
She was joking.
Mostly.
She's a Capricorn.
What does that mean?
So anyway, let's get back to the...
Sorry.
Let's get back to the investigation.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there and I'm interviewing the client. All of a sudden, I get this sudden urge to go out into this really small living room. It must have been like 8 foot by 10 foot. It had a couch in it. It had a coffee table, and it had a TV.
It was like a sitting room.
Basically. So I look, and there's this just blank wall with nothing on it. But I look, and I can see the silhouette of a doorway.
Now,
there's no doorway there.
There was an actual silhouette, or you can see it in your mind's eye? Like intuitively, you were picking up on
I could see it in my mind's eye.
Okay, so
like the door was there when I looked, but I didn't see a door. I just saw the outline of the door.
Yeah, you can see it as it used to be. That once there was a door there, but there's no evidence. You just know that it was there.
It was kind of like a dotted line all the way around, like the size of a door. And then when I noticed that, I suddenly got this urge to fall to my knees, and I had this very strong pain in both of my kneecaps. And before I could ask, the client says, there used to be a doorway there that led to the basement.
She just sees you looking at it?
Huh?
She just sees that you're looking at it, and so she volunteers that information?
And then she said, my aunt used to go down there and do her laundry, but she couldn't do it anymore because she had bad knees. So we brought the washroom upstairs and blocked that door off. So this is when I had first started honing in on my gifts.
Don't you hate it when you're like, oh, I should have said it. I was picking up on that. I should have said it.
Before I could even get it out, she said it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, hey, was there a door there before? But she said it before I asked her.
Ah, that's the worst.
Right? So then after that, I said, do you mind if we start taking a tour of the house? So we went up on the first floor, and we walked in this really small room. It must have been like the size of the sitting room, like an 8 by 10.
Was it a bedroom?
Yeah, and the only thing that was in there was a dresser. It was like a longer dresser, but no mirror. And then like a single bed.
A twin size bed?
And it had just a mattress on it, no sheets. And as I walked in over the threshold of the doorway, I felt like this retching, like, pain in my stomach. And I felt like my stomach was upset. And then when I start to pick up on things psychically, my ears start to ring. And then I got like a little bit of like euphoria in my brain, like in my mind. And then I called the other member of the team to see if they had the same reaction.
Yeah.
They came in and they went over the threshold and they had the same exact reaction. So I asked the client. Now, previously I had asked her all these questions.
Like, does anybody...
Has anybody tried to commit suicide? All those questions,
Yeah.
you know. So you could tell she was still in like some
trauma
about what had happened. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
I said, whose room is this? She said, oh, this is my granddaughter's room. She tried to commit suicide by taking pills.
So where was she at?
Like a rehab?
Wherever she was?
I didn't even ask.
Oh, that's devastating.
But all I was thinking in my head was, but I asked you if there was anybody. Anyway.
Yeah. Sometimes, like...
she was under a lot of
stress.
So
like, what were they saying that was happening in the house? Like, I know that you said that the boyfriend got pushed down the stairs.
That was the only thing that I got out of her.
But did they say?
But she said, like, it's like any other house, you know. It's like she would hear bumps, doors close, and disembodied voices, things like that. Was there
like interference?
Lights would go on and off.
Electronics.
Yeah, okay. And then.
So you're thinking like traditional haunting at this point?
I'm thinking possibly haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of things that you can explain. You know, it's like, here's what you would consider a haunting. You can consider it a haunting as if you've tried to come up with answers for everything, but there's just that one thing you can't find like an answer for, mm-hmm. or a reason why it's happening. Then you could say it's possibly paranormal.
Did you tend to go in with like, there's a logical reason why this stuff is happening?
Yeah, I never went in thinking, oh, this house is haunted.
Yeah.
I had to prove it.
Yeah, makes sense. I like that approach.
Yeah. You know, you mm-hmm. kind of have to be a little skeptical.
So you ask her who's in this room, and she says it's my teenage daughter.
No, my granddaughter.
Did she say how old?
She didn't. She just said my granddaughter, and she tried to commit suicide.
I feel like I get the number 15, but that's just me.
I think somewhere around that, probably 15, 16.
Yeah.
You know, you can just like, usually when you walk into a room, you can feel the energy.
Why was the granddaughter
whoever was in there
living there? Did she say?
I don't know.
You don't know if
I didn't get in depth about that kind of stuff.
You don't know if the mom lived there?
Nope.
You just know that her granddaughter lived there.
Supposedly, they were like 4 generations lived in that house. Okay. And I think what had happened is previous generations started to die off. Mm. Not to sound kind of...
Yeah, morbid, but... Well, if she knew that the aunt lived there and there was a door there, they've lived there for a while.
Yeah.
So what happens?
So we went up to the second floor. Mm-hmm. Second floor was just like the second floor.
Nothing.
Yeah. So then we go up to the third floor, and we went and had we interviewed the boyfriend.
And the boyfriend's in bed milking his arm.
His arm is broken in 2 places. He's not milking it.
Okay.
So, you know, I introduced myself, and he knew we were coming.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like asked just a few questions. I said, so tell me what happened in your own words. He said, I was walking down the stairs, and then all of a sudden I felt like a grown man came behind me and pushed me down the stairs.
It was like the force of a grown man.
Yeah, that's what he said. So I said to him, were you consuming any alcohol that day?
Yeah, did you give him a breathalyzer at that point?
He said, here and there I have a beer or 2 a day. He says, but I didn't have any yet.
He hadn't had any when that happened.
Yeah.
Now, was the teenage daughter in the home?
The granddaughter.
I'm sorry, the teenager.
Granddaughter.
Was she home? Was she in the house?
No, she was in like a center.
Yeah, because I was kind of wondering if it was a poltergeist. Like if she had created a poltergeist.
Well, we're getting...
Okay, so sorry.
We're getting to the icing on the cake.
Oh, there's cake?
Yeah.
Oh.
So after we were done interviewing him, we checked the third floor out a little bit just to see if I was picking up on anything, if the other investigator was picking up on anything. You know, you bring a course of like meters and stuff to measure temp, EMF, it was basically, just quiet.
Yeah, it was just like you weren't picking up on anything on the third floor.
Until we got to the fourth floor, which was the attic.
I just immediately get creepy vibes.
So we walk into the attic, and it's this old style attic. It's got like a skylight in it.
Does it have like the roof, like the roof that comes down?
The slanted roofs, yeah. So and then it had like one of them hexagon windows in it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But this was the odd thing. There was this big black cabinet or like a cupboard,
like a wardrobe?
Like a wardrobe. And it was like connected to the roof and the floor. And it had this big old fashioned like lock on it, like something you would see on like in the colonial days that would take like a skeleton key.
That's weird.
What? And I said, do you have the key for this door? I said, can I open it and see what's in it? She's like, we don't have the key. She says,
but my great-great-grandma did.
And I just went to touch it. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I went to touch it, I heard in my ear, stay away from it. It's mine.
Just like that?
Just like that. I was like, what?
Did you hear it like external from your body, or did you hear it inside your head?
I heard it in my ear. Like something was almost like I could feel the wind.
Yeah, it's creepy.
And then I went to touch it again to see if I was just hearing things.
You're like, get out.
And I said, don't touch it. It's mine.
Ew.
And I was like, okay. At that point, what I was picking up on back then from the lack of understanding I have now was demonic.
Yeah.
So I had an affiliate group that I was affiliated with that specialized in that. So I had reached out to that group and I told them what had been going on.
Is this the one that operated out of the church?
So we had set up a meeting to go sit and talk. So we had sat down, we had the talk, and they agreed they were going to come in and do the investigation with us.
I'm sorry, I just think it's ironic, unless I'm getting things confused, that they said, oh, our location has a demonic entity in it. Is that the same one?
Yeah.
I'm like, you specialize in demonic... But your location, okay.
So...
You're like,
So the next day, after this had happened, now everything got in the way of us finding this place. Like everything you could think of.
All the resistance.
Detours, road construct, all of it, right?
Yeah. Flat tire.
Right. So the next day, I'm sitting on my porch and I'm just like, I have my voice recorder and I'm just, belting out like all the
observations,
all the stuff that I came up with. Yeah, all the intel and all that. And then I heard the same voice in my ear. Stay away from the priest. And I'm like, bro, I'm Sagittarius. You ain't gonna tell me to stay away or what to do, no how. And then I heard it again. I said, stay away from the priest. So we had scheduled the investigation to happen on a Friday night. She called up the day before and canceled.
So why do you think she canceled?
No explanations.
Yeah. Why do you think she canceled?
I don't know. Like, she didn't even share it with the member of the group why she canceled. But we just, if they didn't want to do it, we respected the fact. We didn't ask any questions. We didn't pressure, none of that.
If that thing that was by the wardrobe would follow you to your home and give you another warning, I'm thinking that it amped up the activity in the house and scared the crap out of them. I mean, if you weren't already... But here's my question. Because, for example, I do not believe these things can touch you. Like, they can't... You know what I mean? Why can sometimes...
I've had people get...
But why do you think that happens sometimes?
I think if you go into a place and you are like full of fear, I think that they feed off of that, and that gives them power. Because we had one of the members on his first day with the group. We did an investigation, and he walked in there and he came out and he was like, "Oh, my chest is on fire." And he pulled his shirt up and he had 3 scratch marks across his chest that were just starting to bleed. So that means it just happened.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you never went back? What do you think that thing was? What do you think it was? Because it definitely liked to use intimidation.
Well, it didn't seem like it had enough of anything because it could have harmed us. But I think whatever it was, it pushed her boyfriend down the stairs. Because I think maybe where she was afraid, he wasn't afraid, so he became a threat. So one way to kind of get him in line is to push him down the stairs.
And get him out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, we checked everything. Of course, it's an old house. It has leaky windows. It has creaking boards. Just old houses like that make noises. You know what I mean?
Well, when we moved into this house, we had to do some work the first few weeks to get rid of some energy.
Yep.
There was one day, it was like 2 weeks after we moved into the house.
Yep.
We came home from work and our house was infested with flies. And we had it was gross.
Yeah.
Nothing like that's ever happened to me before.
Yeah, so check this out. We had the electricity switched over into our names. And then the previous owner, had the electricity shut off. So when we came, we had no electricity, no heat. We had the mattress in the living room.
It was a long weekend.
We're like just about in each other's pockets. It's so cold in there.
So cold.
And when you close your eyes, I could just see this old man walking down the hallway. And then I could just feel it. And like he was like trying to make me feel threatened. And
when I researched the house, there was an old man who lived here. Now, they don't come out and say it.
Yeah.
But it's implied that he died and then the widow sold the house to the lady that we bought it from. But they had lived here for a number of years.
Yeah.
And I remember that first weekend. And I told you later, like, I think it wasn't a coincidence that the electricity was turned off that weekend. We couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Yeah, right.
Like, I didn't know I could call the emergency line. And I said, but I think that happened for a reason because we needed the stillness of the house to identify that there was a little bit of energy here.
Yeah.
And I remember we, the next night we moved the bed into the bedroom. And I remember waking up and looking over my shoulder and there was like this dark thing trying to attach itself to me.
Yeah.
And we had worked to remove the energy. But when we were redoing the basement, we remodeled the basement.
Yep.
And when that happened, there was a lot of energy happening. In fact, we would be down in the basement and you could hear footsteps up here.
Yeah.
But now, like...
Yeah, because I went through a couple of times and cleared this house.
Yeah, a few times you had to, like, raise your voice and tell them to leave. But now I don't feel any weird energy in this house. But the first year, sometimes, like, if you were at work, I would be a little bit creeped out. Because it was, like, a little bit of a creepy feeling. Yeah. But anyway, that's a whole different story. I digress. So, well, thank you for sharing that story with us.
You're welcome. True story.
Yeah. Yeah. We're like, I guess the whole point is to share our true experiences.
So what about you? What do you have to share?
Well, I have something that's a little bit on a different, a little bit different spectrum.
Okay.
I was living in Las Vegas. My second marriage lasted about 2 years.
Yep.
2 weeks into the marriage, like I knew I'd made a mistake. Yep. What do? You're 2 weeks in.
2 weeks in, right?
And I was like, oh no.
You're like, no whammies, no whammies. Womp,
womp. That's what happened, folks, when you ignore red flags. Yep. Red flags turn into red banners.
Yep.
And usually the red banners come out after the marriage license has been signed.
Yep.
And anyway, I guess like long story short, what would happen is he would get mad and leave all mad. And I remember one night, the way this house was is that there was a balcony that faced the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I was just nervous because I think I mentioned last night that I can pick up on telepathy, especially when it's aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that like traumatic childhood, sometimes that nervous energy is in you.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know what to do. I went out to the balcony and I'm just sitting there. And the house next to us, I noticed like the coach light, which we figure like a traditional coach light in a house is about what, 120 watts?
A coach light?
It's sort of like a porch light, but it was like the light that was
like a halogen?
Yeah.
125, 110, 125?
Yeah, something like that.
They make them brighter than that, but
So what would happen was I was just like, I'm looking outwards and I'm noticing in my peripheral that the light is going like, woo, like going, I don't know my wattage.
brighter to dimmer, brighter to dimmer.
But I'm going to say like really bright.
Then you could hear the electric hum.
You could hear the electric hum and then it would go back in.
It would charge and then it would decrease.
And I was like, that's weird. I kind of looked at it. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about, okay, what's going to happen when he gets home? You know what I mean? And this light, I'm telling you, is trying to get my attention.
Right.
And I'm like, are you talking to me? Go 2 brights for yes, 1 bright for no. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, am I imagining this? Woo.
Like what was going through your head?
I'm like, do I need to go to Butler at this point? Like,
is this light talking to me?
I mean, this light is freaking talking to me. And I did a bunch of test questions.
Yeah.
Like I would do with my pendulum. And I'm getting consistent, intelligent answers.
Right. So it's intelligently interacting with you.
Yeah, but like out of nowhere.
That's so cool. Yeah.
But the sad part is I have no one to validate this. Like,
right. You were the only one there.
I didn't. You got to take my word or you don't.
Yeah.
And so at one point I'm just like, am I safe? Woo. Am I in danger? Woo. Woo. No, it was 1 for yes, 2 for no. Am I safe? Woo. Woo. Am I in danger? Woo. Like it's, and I'm like, do I need to leave tonight? I'm like, what do I do? It's telling me I'm in danger.
Yeah.
And I'm getting, what I got was like, no, you don't have to leave tonight, but yes, you are in danger. So I'm going to interpret that as long term.
Yeah.
You're in danger long term. So what I would pick up from this person was at any time he had a trigger. If he presumed or perceived that he was being disrespected, there were 2 triggers. I don't remember them both, but I know one was feeling that he was being disrespected. Something else would take over.
Yeah.
And you could see like the change in the personality.
Yeah.
And I would observe it, and I would notice that the change would last 6 to 8 hours.
Wow.
Well, I mean, listen, like when you're in a relationship that with a not safe person, there tends to be not a lot of peace in the home. I mean, it was not like I didn't feel safe. And I remember one night there had been arguing, and then it's the middle of the night and I see this thing. He's asleep.
Yep.
And I see this thing sweeping through the window and cover him like a blanket.
Huh.
And it's like, how do I best describe this thing? It is black in shape and it is human size.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the hell is that?
Right.
Okay. So we had a hot tub. And like, I don't know how long this whole thing lasted. Let's just say 2 months. This is going on where I'm just noticing, like, if I noticed a change in personality, I would avoid him for 6 to 8 hours. I would go sleep in another room. I would do whatever it took. I'm like, how in the heck did I get myself in this situation? Like, did I not learn anything? You know what I mean? So we were out in the hot tub one night and I'm just barely learning energy work. So of course, when you're learning something new, that's all you want to do. And I could just see like there were all these opportunities. Like I wanted to heal him. I wanted him to be healthy. Um, I kind of realized now that I was there for the kid, like his kid was like, I would protect her. You know what I mean? And of course, he didn't like any of that because he got a hot tub for one reason, and I just wanted to sit in it and do energy work.
Yeah.
Right? And this night, all of a sudden, I'm surrounded with what looks like humanoid bats. And I remember their faces looked like bats. They were walking on two legs and they're surrounding the hot tub. And they have like these pincers on their elbows. And as they're walking around, I can, like, they're jabbing me with these pincers and I'm like reacting to the pain. I mean, it's not marking my body, but I can feel the pain energetically. And I'm like, and I look over at him and he is just sitting there like he's in a trance. And I just like got overwhelmed with these things.
Yeah.
And like when you're in that situation and all of a sudden you're surrounded by these things.
Were they like a swarm?
Yeah, I would say a coven. That's how I would identify them, as a coven. And like you hear them like they're like making noises like this. Like that, like they're breathing heavily through their nostril type that, like, and they looked like humanoid bats. That's what they look like. And I remember just like feeling overwhelmed with these things. I'm vulnerable because I'm in the hot tub. I'm surrounded by these things. He's just sitting there like he's in a trance. And all of a sudden, this light, almost like a spotlight, out of nowhere, shines down on this hot tub. And these things scatter like they're cockroaches.
Where do you think that light came from?
I feel like my mother did. I feel like the light that was talking to me on the porch, and that light was my mother intervening on my behalf.
Right.
That's what I feel. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I feel.
Right.
And whenever I would talk to my psychic friends about what had happened, even you picked up that the porch light was my mother.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense because my mother has my back.
Yeah.
And I remember now I've seen these things twice now. And the second time I see a whole family of them are surrounding me. And I remember like meditating, like, what are these things? And what I was kind of shown was that there was an epidemic amongst the men folk, that these things would be attached to, and they were almost like tethers. So they'd be out flying in the atmosphere, and if they sense like that the person got triggered, they would come down and protect that person.
You know, it's odd. Just recently, they've really talked about how your physical body and your astral body, there's a tether that attaches. because when we sleep, our astral body leaves our body,
Mhm.
and the tether is what keeps us connected.
Well, I remember remember I told you yesterday that I can feel, I'm very good at reading telepathy if the thoughts are very aggressive. And what I got from him when this thing would take over was that he wanted to do one of two things to me. He wanted to push me down the stairs, or he wanted to strangle me. I got that very clearly. And in fact, one day, I said to him, I said, "Hey, do you know this thing is here?"
Right.
And he said, "Yes, he did." Now, this was a church-going fella, right? Like, he held himself as like a high person in the church, and he was full of morals and values. But this thing was attached to him that wanted to hurt me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's get rid of it, because listen, if somebody has an attachment, I can't get rid of it if they choose to hold on to it. I can't do that. Like, the person has to want it gone. And you know what he said to me? He said, "No, because it protects me." I said, "You know that it wants to cause me harm."
And he claims to be a Christian.
I mean, there's the paradox, right? Because when I brought this up to the church, I wasn't believed. In fact, I was told that I was accused of adultery instead of being believed. So anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So what I had ended up doing was calling in Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
And Archangel Michael, like, I'm just like, so it was like a Saturday. I forget how much longer after this. But they went up into the ethers and rounded up all the ones that they could. They couldn't get all of them because some of them were tethered to a person. And the ones that didn't want to let go of it, he chose to keep his. And again, like when I confronted him about it, he said, "No, I want to keep it because it protects me." And so basically that's my story with the bat people.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I didn't stay in that marriage because it just wasn't safe to do so.
Right.
I had to leave for my own safety.
Right.
Like when somebody has an attachment like that and you're aware of it and you see it, like, I just don't think it's wise to hang around and hope it's going to get better.
Right.
I'm all for like the sanctity of marriage and keeping your marriage vows and honoring that marriage. But if your life is in danger and you say to that person, "Hey, when you're triggered, I know you want to hurt me."
I mean, honestly, if you have a coven of bat people flying around you, that's not safe. I don't.
I mean, I know it sounds fantastical, but that's my testimony. That whenever he would get triggered, this thing would come in and take over. And when this thing had taken over, it usually, like I said, it would last 68 hours.
Yeah.
I was not safe in the home.
All right. That's an amazing story. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to continue this series. We also ask that you would like, share, and subscribe. If you have any topic you would like us to talk about, please leave some comments in the comment section. And we can't wait to tell you some more of our experiences in the paranormal.
What do you think you're going to talk about next time?
I got a lot of them.
I want to talk about my near-death experience next time.
Okay, then we'll discuss the near-death experiences.
I mean, that could be considered paranormal.
Yeah, it's
definitely not normal.
Paranormal means above normal, so
Yeah.
It's not normal, definitely. It's just like with NDEs within the past, like, say 5-6 years, they've been really prevalent because there have been so many of them that were going unrecorded because people didn't want to come out because they figured that people would think they're crazy.
Well, mine happened in April of this year. So.
I know. I totally experienced the...
He was here.
Yeah. Yeah. And once I found out that she had that, I was like, oh, boy. And
If it wasn't for you, though, I wouldn't be here today.
Exactly. You know, exactly. All right. We want to thank you for tuning in. I'm Dean.
I'm Kay.
Thank you. Have a good night. We love you. Peace.
Bye-bye.